Hello everyone and welcome to the third weekend of the All Hands on Deck Community Tournament. We are here on Bulwark Naval Yards as Shrimp Fried Rice takes on Limos. Team 1 being Shrimp Fried Rice, we have the Spy Eye, Firestorm, Noik, and Mouse. Team 2 is Limos, we have Puppy, Hunter, WZ Snipes, and Xenophon. Mentioned previously, we are here on Bulwark. This is the first round of this this match. You can see both teams starting to deploy their ships here. Let's take a look at where they're going. ANS looks pretty evenly distributed across the deployment thing here. We have some assets on E side and some on D side, so it doesn't look like they really have a strong side based on deployment so far. OSP deploying really heavily at the center here. A large cluster of ships coming here at the middle. A couple scattered assets around the sides here to contest those points. Here's the more ships from ANS. It looks like we're getting a lot of stuff on CD side here. Looks like they're going strong there. Cap ships for both B and A on the two teams. $30 on the deployment timer. Looks like most of them have deployed and are ready to go. Looks like we're just waiting on one to get their ships in position. Alright, we have a zoom in of a liner. Looks like 450s. Yes. 450 broadside liner deploying low near the A point, I believe. The natural. Is that the A point? I don't think that's the A point. It is the A point. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at the teams. Firestorm up here, starting first player we're looking at on Shrimp Fried Rice. It looks like we have a double Axford build here. They've got the 450 double turret in the back. Raider Whiplash setup for restores. And it looks like Parallax on one, and the other also has a Parallax. Looks like these are pretty identical here. We have Illuminators, potentially for, these are Floodlights, so likely for dealing with jamming. Lots of flak and some defenders on these. Yep, fairly standard Axford build here. Mouse has a double Axford as well. Double Raider Whiplash. Parallax on the first one. The second one has Spyglass. Does it have track correlators? No, it does not. Double Raider Whiplash as well on the second one. Looks like the first one that Mouse has a an interruption jammer for dealing with command-guided missiles. And the other one has a missile backpack with... Nope, those are not missiles. Those are just 8 active decoys in the back of this thing. Noik. We have a gun voxel here. 4 guns. Parallax Raider in the front. Raider Whiplash drive. Okay, very, very nice. Assuming this is a spy reins? With a Mark 61 on it. Interesting. Whiplash drive. I'm assuming this is for dealing with small cap assets. And also providing spotting for the team. And we have torpedo cappers, but with jamming on them. Interesting. 1, 2 of them, and looks like we've got some gun sprinters as well, 3 of them. Assuming these have torpedoes in them. Oh, we got 4 torpedoes and 2 S3Hs. Very nice mixed loadout there. Spy Eye electing to bring a missile frigate fleet. Lots of mixture of S3s and S2s in this. I'm seeing illuminators on these too. Are these spotlights? They are. Potentially a SAR-H missile ball up here. Mixture of, like I said before, S2s and S3s, although these are just SDMs and active decoys. So it looks like it's mostly just S3s as the offensive missiles. Very light on the damage control here, you don't really need it with this sort of fleet. Yeah, these are all defensive missiles in the VLS2s. On to Team LIMOS here. Hunter bringing a mixture of liners. We have a 250 broadside liner, another 250 broadside liner here, and it looks like an obelisk here as well. A nice mixture of 100 mil plasma and 250. Oh, I say this is an obelisk. This is 7 plasma turrets and 1 T-30. Interesting. It looks like they do have the 100 mil sidearms though, so still gonna be able to put out quite a bit of damage. Very nice to see. Looks like this is OSP's main frontline fleet. Puppy bringing 2 Acellos. Oh, one of them's a rail Acello. I see. First one is 450. We have Parallax, Raider. Yep, pretty standard 450 Acello here. Looks like we've got Auroras, comm jamming. Yep, fairly standard stuff. The rail one's pretty skeletal. Probably just going to be mostly a backline asset, not really wanting to be on the front line. Doesn't look like this thing has any point defense on it at all. No, it has a chaff launcher with some AMMs and stuff in there. Okay. And then also I'm assuming this is a Bloodhound tug. Yep, double track correlated, very standard for this sort of build. Snipes with the Plasma Cello with 100 mil sidearms. Raider drive, Parallax radar, alright. And it looks like a bunch, oh my god, this is a 100 mil, is this a 100 mil shuttle swarm? Oh my god, it is. Oh, that's interesting. Some jamming as well on these as well. The battle's already started, and I'm not even done looking through these fleets. I'm just gonna assume these are all like either jamming or 100 mil. Yeah, they're just all in this ball here. I'm assuming they're the plasma cello strips armor, and then these things come in. On to Xenophon, who's running the cat fleet. Looks like they're running a 450 liner dad cat fleet here. Some craft on the back, very nice. Couple MMTs, I believe these are. Yep, scattered across the map here. This is not an MMT. This is a... What are you? Very stripped down tug here, just with the gun. Looks like this is mostly just a defensive asset. Oh, electing to run these really stripped down gun tugs instead of gun shuttles. Very interesting. Already losing a couple of their cap assets here. Looks like to the torpedoes from... Alright, or just the guns from Noak's gun and torp cap ships here. Losing one on E and losing one on D over here. And it looks like looks like A&S is probably just gonna take these 2 naturals here. No fighting going on for C points so far here. No one even has really anything there. A&S has some Axfords here looking over, but there's nothing there for them to deny. Missiles out from one of the MMTs on the ship that capped the E point. It is CIC down. Rather unfortunate damage saturation there, as these missiles are going to hit, as that defender is not being commanded. And then doesn't kill it, but this sprinter is not long for this world. The gun shuttle swarm jumping onto the E point, absolutely gunning down this poor sprinter here, who has nothing to use against these this swarm. This is inherently silly. I love this. This is incredible. As yeah, Snipes just pushing onto the E point here with this massive ball of malice. The SAR H frigates putting missiles down range. It looks like into this this tugboat here. It looks like they've already gotten a hit in. The massive hitbox of the drive-in reactor section on this tug being really apparent with how this thing got damaged. Chaff managing to deflect that that missile though. SAR H the illuminators not being microed from these frigates here means that they are going to illuminate the chaff, and the missile will prioritize the chaff instead. Hunter going under the map here, heading directly towards ANS's natural here on B point, putting a bunch of fire downrange into this, is this one of the torp ones? This is one of the torpedo ones. Did fire all its torpedoes, it still has the hybrids left. Although I don't think it's going to stay alive long enough to use them. As the 250 liner puts out a salvo here, the grape shot coming in. Yeah, that sprinter's going to go down. SAR H frigates have already reattacked their illuminators onto Hunter's Swarm here. Hunter's Swarm also being supported by Snipes' Plasma Ocello. I thought that thing was going to stick next to the Swarm, but no, it's going with Hunter here. Very, very nice. You love to see it. The point defense and radar jamming of the Ocello is going to support those liners quite well. Missiles out from the SAR H frigate ball here. These are SAR H, ARAD, Val, and Homage and backup. Looks like a mixture of the two. All S3H, all HE shaped. Question is, will these get past the Auroras on this Plasma Ocello here? Looks like it's got 2, 3, 4 Auroras. Looks like 3 of them are going to be in arc to start shooting down these missiles. 6 missiles, so we could potentially see some of these impact. Chaff is out from the Ocello and the liners. Although it's not enough. That is, looks like 2 hits into the back of one of the 250 liners here. Didn't really do a whole lot of damage. The liner absorbing the hits pretty well. The other Ocello, the 451, is also in range here to support the frontline push. ANS secures the C point with the Axfords. Nothing up here that OSP has can deny that, as the Axfords just step onto the point without any resistance. D point does get secured by OSP Air, bringing it to a 3 cap in favor of Limos. Rail Cello, what is the Rail Cello engaging? The Rail Cello is engaging the Voxel here. Noak's Voxel is out in the open. Looks like it was trying to potentially deny pushes through the middle of the map here, not expecting the push through the middle of the map to be consisting of 2 Ocellos and 3 liners. The Swarm is still kind of nestled on E point. Looks like they're playing defensive mostly. OSP can play defensive here. They do have the cap advantage. Yeah, ANS has lost most of their cappers here. Even the spy frigate is down for the count here, as only one of the gun sprinters remains on B point. The Axford's diving onto Xenophon's 450 liner here as it gets target locked. Looks like it's trying to move into cover here to avoid the 450 fire. Looks like the other Axfords are perhaps moving into position to engage the Swarm, or perhaps maybe... No, they're moving past the place they want to be to engage this liner here. More missiles out on the frontline push here from OSP, although the Ocellos have positioned themselves between the liners and the missile swarm. Those Auroras are going to be able to deflect most of those incoming missiles. So Voxel here starting to take some fire from the rails, as well as the massive frontline swarm we have here, electing to duck behind a rock here and start repairing all of the fires that were set by the rails. The Swarm looks like it's now moving for B point. Perhaps Limos here recognizing that ANS just has nothing to stop them from going there. Most of their camp assets are gone. The Ocello's been pinned behind the rock here. The Axfords are not in any position to really engage OSP's frontline here, as OSP's frontline is just going to be able to sit here and shoot pretty much whatever they want. provide cover for the swarm as it rushes into the B cap here. ANS with no cap assets is completely unable to back cap any of OSP's points here. Even though A and D are relatively open here, they just lost all of the small sprinters and cannot get around the front line. Disconnect from mouse. We are too far into the match to restart it, so it looks like Firestorm has taken command of Mouse's Axfords here.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
Firestorm now has 4 450 Axfords under their control as they looks like they move in to begin to engage the 450 liner, although the 450 liner able to use this rock cover quite well, getting fire into the Axfords without really getting spotted itself. The swarm here just completely uncontested, moves on to the B point. Massive 100 mil salvo into the last sprinter that ANS has as this thing just gets annihilated by the swarm of gun shuttles. More missiles out on... Looks like that's going for one of these Acellos here. This is the Plasma Acello. Looks like it's trying to get around here to start getting plasma shots into the liners. The missiles go mostly for the chaff. Yeah. Excellent soft kill from Snipes here. And it looks like Hunter's beginning to engage the Axfords with the liners. They got a perfect crossfire here as the Axfords have pushed way too far out, trying to run down this 450 liner. They get caught out in the open and are just crossfired by the 450 liner and Hunter's 250 plasma liners here. Firestorm desperately trying to get these Axfords out of here, although these things are going to start taking an absurd amount of damage at this close range with these liners. That is... It's like 4 kilometers. Yeah, well within the effective range of both plasma and 100 mil. The swarm pulling off of the B push looks like they're going back to assist the liners in their assault on the front line here. All this plasma going into these Axfords means that they will be able to pen the armor of these cruisers, and yeah, assuming they have stuff like HHC on these things, do they? Yep. These shuttles fully equipped to deal with the frontline engagement here as they have HHC. Looks like they are starting to pour fire into these Axfords here, and these Axfords going down obscenely fast here. Caught completely out of position by the front line of OSP. The other 2 Axfords looks like they're diving on the E point here, trying to stay out of range of the liners, I believe. What are these Axfords engaging? 6670, which is this tugboat back here. Okay, this is one of the stripped-down gun tugboats we've seen from Xenophon. Very interesting design here, perhaps using the... Yeah, perhaps using the slight durability increase you get out of a tugboat compared to a shuttle to run these as, like, gun assets. Swarm is being engaged by the Voxel here as it starts putting RPF fire down range, although it is getting rail counter-batteried for its trouble. The center stack already going down here. 14 fires on board this thing. You can see the crits adding up here as the rails just... Oh, this poor Voxel. 5 teams is not enough to deal with this many fires in critical events. This Acello is really starting to leave its mark on that Voxel. It looks like the rail cell here has swapped fire to one of the Axfords here, opting to focus fire with the rest of the team as Firestorm's other Axford is just going to get annihilated here by the massed front line that OSP has. The other Axfords managed to clean off this tugboat and do start securing the E point here, although with OSP's front line being this close, I do not think that they're going to hold that point for very long. SAR-H missile fleet over here just been completely denied the entire match by the Acellos here. The Acellos dumping chaff and using Auroras, just completely denying these frigates' ability to do much of anything. So yeah, this other Axford K-killed by the obscene amount of 100 mil fire going into it, as well as some 250 and 450 from the various liners. As ANS is down nearly 2 fleets here, and OSP has basically lost no assets. Missile frigates look like they're moving on to the B point here to try and retake it, although with how close OSP's front line here is, I do not think they'll be able to hold it if they do get on the point. More SAR-H missiles out on this Acello. It looks like they're firing at the rail Acello, which only has chaff as missile defense. No hard kill on this thing. Let's see if the chaff will be able to confuse these missiles enough. Half of these HEKP too. This is a very expensive salvo. Chaff out from the Acello. AMMs do go out. These are Act Seeker AMMs. And the missiles look like they're... Yep, the missiles were completely seduced by the chaff there. The experts here are getting jumped by the 100 mil swarm as plasma comes in from both the Acello here and the liners. Yeah, OSP's just going to use their superior front line to just completely jump the rest of ANS's assets here. And ANS doesn't have any cap ships left to really win on the cap front. This missile fleet just completely zoned out for the entire match, unable to really do much of anything. The front line caught out of position on this side of the map here. The cap ships just completely picked apart by the liners and other frontline assets that OSP had, and yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for this match. I don't think ANS really has anything left to pull this back, as these Axfords are just going to get cooked.
The enemy is securing zone Eclipse. The enemy secured zone Comet.
This swarm absolutely unstoppable, as it just completely just annihilates the entirety of well, not really the entirety of it. Took out a lot of cap assets here. It's putting massive fire into these Axfords, and yeah, that is a lot of firepower from OSP here. And there, yep, there go the surrenders from ANS here as they realize that this match is over. And yeah, with that game, it is a 0-1 in favor of Team Limos here, as we move on to the next round.